Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I'm going to do my June 2023 book haul. So, yeah, I bought too many books. I think I bought 25. I think it was 25. Close to that. Anyway, it's close to that. Yeah. Anyway, I planned not to buy a whole lot of books, and then it just kind of steamrolled. And then I got sick, and then I did even more damage. So that's kind of what happened. I'm not gonna, I'm apologetic to the point is that I didn't mean to do this. And I say that every month. And so we're just gonna go with it because it is one of the things I do spend money on. That's for me, and I don't mind it. And now that I have a little bit more space because I bought some more bookshelves, I'm not too worried. I wish I would read more of the books that I bought in that month and read them, but I'm not really up to that. I'm usually a couple months behind before I read some of the books that I got. So anyway, I only read a few of these overall. I think only like 3. Well, except for 4 books that at the very end I will explain. Anyway, point is that most of these books are added to my TBR, but not all of them. So we'll just go through some books I did read first. So we'll start with romance of different flavors. I have some dystopian romances. So I have Ivan and Deacon. Deacon is book 2. Ivan is book 3 in the Gideon Riders series by Kit Rocha. This is the series that follows the Beyond series. I have all the Beyond series. I bought it last year, and then I read it all this spring. And then in June, I did finish off what is out of the 3 books of Gideon's Riders. I don't have book 1 yet, Ashwayne, because it's expensive online. So at some point I will get a physical copy, but right now I have the 2 books of that. So I have read that and enjoyed that series. I did buy a book because I bought the second book last month at Barnes & Noble when it was on a deal or something. Or I don't know, I just bought it one day. I don't remember. Point is book 2, and the more people talked, I saw a couple more videos on it, and they said, oh, well, the first book, you should read the first book because it is a continuation. I mean, it follows different couples, so this is a contemporary, so who knows when I'll get to this, but I did buy When in Rome by Sarah Adams, so this is the first book in this series. I bought Practice Makes Perfect, which is following this main character's sister and her love interest in that book. This one is following, I think she's a pop artist. I'm not sure. Or she decides she wants to go to Rome, but she goes to Rome in Kentucky instead of Rome. I don't know how it goes. She's trying to get away from the press, and then I don't know. They end up they're together. I don't know what's going on with that one. Anyway, point is I bought it because it was the first book in that series, and I'm a completionist. So the point is that I don't know. We'll see if I ever get to that, because me and contemporaries it's very hard for me to even finish one. Anyway, but I bought another one. Oh well. I did buy a book that I have read in the past many, many times, and this is Bodyguard by Jennifer Ashley. This is book 2.5 in the Shifters Unbound series. This is, I'm finishing one of her other series this year. The next year, this is the series I will concentrate on to reread all the books that I've read, which is quite a few, and then finish all the books that I haven't read, which is another good chunk. Bodyguard was the first novel of hers that I ever read. I got it on Kindle for like free when I first got my Kindle. Back in like 2010 or 11, whenever that was. This was like the first one I read, and it's a bear shifter novella. And I just love this one because Elizabeth has a past, and she owns this little kind of store with little, knickknacks and things. And he comes in to get a gift for somebody, Rowan. And, oh my God, there's a robbery. And so there's this crime element. There's this, mystery involved with that, and people out to get her. And, he offers to protect her because, in this world, the shifters are regulated into shifter towns, and he is a bear. And I just love him. They're some of my favorite characters from the whole series. And it was the first book I read of this, and by this author, which now I own like 40 some books of hers. And I've read quite a few of them. So this is one of the series that I stopped reading in the time, around the time period, like a couple of years, you know, when I moved back from California. So it's been like 8 or 9 years. And this series I just have not got back to. So I read all the first part of the series, but this is the one I didn't have in paperback. I've been reading it off ebook. I think I have the audiobook too now, where I can get it. I don't remember. Point is, I've read the ebook so many times. I'm like, I deserve a physical copy of that one. I've read that a lot. Sorry, I talked a lot about that one. Anyway, so a couple other ones I won't talk too much about is, this is book, oh, I don't know if this is 10, of the Highland, what is it? The Highland, I don't remember what the series is called. Highland Brides. So I am only in book 2 right now, like, well, I mean, I started it, I haven't finished it. But this is like book 10, and it just came out this year. Someone really loved it. But this is the new release. So I just picked it up. I was at my used bookstore, and I had credit, so I only paid $3 for it. So, and then at that same used bookstore, I got Shelter in Place, which is one of the Nora Roberts romantic suspense that I don't own. And this one has to do with a shooting at a mall, and then the aftermath of that and stuff. So this is just one of the ones I haven't read of hers. But I wanted it on my shelf. Okay, so those are what I would consider all my romance books, I guess. I have also picked up the last 4. I had book 1 of the Savior's Book Cafe Story in Another World series. I got the first one, I think in May. Yeah, I must have got the first one in May, because then I bought the next 4, which is the whole series. So I've read 2. I read sometime in June, and I am almost done with book 3. So I will finish this up. I should have finished it up before my weekly update, but I did not. So I will finish that up. And so you'll probably see it next week. And then I have 2 more, 4 and 5. So anyway, it's just a cute series about a woman who is in her 30s who gets this call to become a savior for some fantastical land. So she deals with it very differently than a young person would in asking for things. And she asks for a cafe that she can set up that has books that, you know, people can read and hang out with, and she can make them food that's very healthy and that, you know, like gives good properties of health properties, you know, to help, you know, when someone's hurt or something. And then she meets one of the knights who is defending the country, and there's another savior who is there who is just making a mess of things. And so she tries to be hidden, and then it's kind of the story goes from there. So anyway, I really am enjoying this series. I said I'm almost done with book 3, and then I have 2 more left to read. So I did get all of those. And then I guess I have 2 more romance ones I totally forgot. These are probably video projects, because I'm not sure how this is going to go for either one of these. The first one is House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. So I bought I bought this from Blackwell's because I read the first book in the Crescent City series earlier this year, and was very surprised by the way I felt about it and how I got through it and enjoyed it. Sorry, I'm still getting over my cold. I read House of Earth and Blood. Isn't that it? Yeah. So I read that earlier this year and did a vlog on it. I would like to do another vlog on reading House of Sky and Breath, because I know this is so divisive with what happens in here. I'm not sure how this will go and when I'll get to it. I'm hoping to do August or September, but we'll see. The 3rd book comes out in January, I believe. So I couldn't wait for a paperback copy from here. I didn't want a hardback. So I just bought the copy that came from the UK. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it was cheaper than buying the ebook at the time. So I just went with that. So anyway, this is urban fantasy at this place called Crescent City. And we're following Bryce, who in the first book has had something very tragic happen to some of her friends. And then a couple years after that happens, then she is called to help to investigate, because they think the guy that they thought was who committed the atrocity is now actually didn't do it. And it went in directions I did not expect. It's definitely a book I want to revisit. Before I read this, I might have to go back and reread parts of it, just because I was so blown away by what happened. It was not a perfect book for me. I'm not a Mass fan. You know, I'm not. That was my first book that I actually completed. Sorry. But I've heard so many bad things about this one, so we will see what happens. Sorry, this isn't going well. The other one that I want to do a vlog on is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So I've never read anything by her. And this is a book that's been around for a couple of years now. And the series just keeps going. And people keep talking about it. And I bought this while I was sick. So I'm going to blame my sickness for my weakness to buy this book. So this is following Poppy, who... again, this is a fantasy romance, and she's like protected by some guard or something. And there's some weird stuff going on here, and everybody talks about this one, and I'm hoping that this is good. I'm actually curious to see how I feel about this. This could be an interesting vlog. So I'm hoping to do both of those sometime in the next couple months. So we'll see. Okay, so then moving on to more fantasy, different kinds. I did get my copy of the Frugal Wizards Handbook for Surviving Medieval England by Brandon Sanderson. This is illustrated by Steve Argyle. So it is a beautiful book. I don't think it's as beautiful as Tress. I think that's still a gorgeous copy, but it has really great pictures in here. The blue tints to stuff is awesome. There's also some good pictures. I really enjoyed this book. This was not going to be a favorite, but I really enjoyed it just for fun. I'm looking forward to rereading it with this copy because the ebook, you couldn't see the blue stuff, you know, the stuff. And I think it does make a difference on some of the little pictures. Oh, so cute. I just think this is a fun one-off kind of book, or standalone. So it did come with my bookmark and a little pin, which is of Vasher from Warbreaker. Is that right? Well, I just blew, my brain just froze up. Isn't that what it is? I don't know. Well, I will just forget about my Cosmere stuff. I don't know enough. And then there's a cute little sticker. Anyway, so I got those. So I got this now. So, very nice. Anyway, that'll go on my shelf here too. I picked up on a whim one day The Rig by Roger Levy. So this, all I know about this is that it's, this might be actually my sci-fi. Well, the next one, I think the next two are more sci-fi. Sorry. This one has to do with some rigging thing on a desert planet. And I think it's just, I don't know. I actually don't have a clue what it's about. No idea. I don't remember. It just has a cool picture on it. I don't know. Somebody talked about this and then I saw it and then I bought it and now I can't think what it was about. But it's having to do with The Rig. And I know it's science fiction. Anyway, it looks good. It's kind of long, but anyway. I did get The Mountain in the Sea by Ray Naylor. And this has to do, I think, with it's kind of cool. I don't know what that means, but it's on the edges. Has to do with, I think, a woman, or something with to do with, like the environment, and something to do with a woman who is a microbiologist who joins some team to go to some islands, and then there's some, I think some octopuses that can think really well. I don't know. Something weird. I don't know. I picked that up. Clearly I picked this up at the same time because it was the buy one, get one. So this is Threadneedle by, was it Carrie Thomas? So this one I picked up because it was about magic and stuff. So I think it's about witches. So they I think someone was told when they were a kid that about the dangers of magic, and then something happens and then they see some magic or meet some people, and then she decides to do something with that. Sorry, I'm gonna cough again. Anyway, so this one has to do with a woman who, again, she has to decide if the magic is a good thing or a bad thing, you know, from what she learns. Anyway, we'll see. I didn't need to pick this up. I picked this up again, probably when I was sick. Rebecca Rona says, this is the second book in the series, Fevered Star. I have not read Black Sun yet, and I have that in hardback. So I think the paperback dropped so far in price, I just didn't stop myself. Anyway, Between Earth and Sky. So I thought the book 3 was coming out this year, so I thought I was going to be reading it this summer, Black Sun, and then I just bought this on a whim. The second one. So hopefully I'll like Black Sun, because now I have the second one, but now the third book isn't coming out till next year. So I have some time on this. I don't know why about that, but it's Colombian and something else inspired. I don't remember what the other tagline is, but you know, it's a different kind of fantasy. So I do want to read Black Sun. Hopefully I'll get to that this year. We'll see. It's on my list to get to this year. We'll see. I did get the next Alona Andrews, Magic Claims. This is book 2 in the Wellington years. So I'm looking forward to reading this. I have to contact Tia and all the books to see when she wants to read it. But this is the second one. This follows Magic Tides, which was shorter. This one's actually more novel size. This one is, well, it's only 225, so it's not too bad. So again, we're following Kate in the aftermath of a lot of the other series. So this is a series that's comes in years after the main Kate Daniels series. So don't read this before you read all those. This is just, again, I'm really looking forward to being back with Kate and Kieran and see what happens. And so hopefully I'll get to that fairly soon. And then another one I bought when I was sick, just because, damn it, is In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. I did get the hardback. I probably shouldn't have, since I have some of his other books in paperback, and well, I have Wolfsong in hardback, but you know, I don't know. It was on sale one day on Amazon when I was sick, and I just clicked yes, and then that was it. So this is one of the books I started the audiobook one day, because I had bought the audiobook because I was going to wait for paperback. Look how that went. And I didn't get very far. So I will come back to this. I'm hoping to read this in the next couple of months. Now I have that. So this is a Pinocchio retelling with robots and a young boy who is, or young man who is who is brought up by robots, and then one of them gets taken away and they go on a journey to find him, I believe. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, and then I have 2 books that are a little different. One is, I think the winner of the Booker Prize is was it Booker? Translated? The International? I'm not positive now. Now I can't remember which award it was, but it was Tomb of Sand by Gitanjali Shiri. This was translated by Daisy Rockwell. I can't remember which language. Oh, they don't tell me. Anyway, I think this is I can't remember what language. Anyway, but I think this is like from this is Indian. And so as I said, I don't know which language, but it has to do with an 80-year-old woman who has lost her husband, and it's her trying to kind of rediscover what she wants to do with her life. And she's not ready to just give up and do stuff. She wants to well, she has a deep depression about it, but she's trying to look for a new lease on life. And I think it's her going to visit other people and dealing with her daughter, who her daughter thought she was so progressive, but her mom's being more progressive than she's planned, I think. Anyway, I've heard good things. It is a huge book, but for translated work, I'd like to get to this at some point. I'm not sure I'm going to get to it this year, but it was a book that I found used, that I've been wanting to buy since last year. I think it was the Booker. I don't know. But anyway, the point is I want to get to that at some point. I definitely wanted it on my shelf, so I'd get to it at some point. And then a book that I bought kind of on a whim off eBay was Boudica, Dreaming the Eagle, which is the first book in the series by Amanda Scott. I don't remember if there's only 3 books, a trilogy. And this is following Boudica in 60 AD in England, I believe. So she's the leader of those people. So I've heard a lot about this through the Brothers Grimm, Gwyn, and they had done a read along on it, and it sounded interesting for a historical. I'm not sure when I'm going to get to this because right now I'm not really in a historical mood, so I don't know why I bought this right now. But I have the first book now because I couldn't find it in my local bookstores, so I did get it online. But that'll be a historical I want to read at some point. But I think this is my only nonfiction that I bought. Well, I did buy one other. I did buy Sister Novelist by somebody. I can't remember. Anyway, but I had to return it because they sent me an ARC when they said they would send me a hardcover, and I was not happy. Anyway, so I sent that book back. The other one I did get, not a great copy, but it was pretty cheap, was The Genius of Jane Austen by Paula Byrne. So I had read the real Jane Austen, sorry. Sorry about that. So I read the real Jane Austen, was it last year? A Life in Small Things, and it was really good. It was a really great book, not told chronologically of her life, but in little going off of little pieces of things from her life and her lifetime. And so it was really interesting. So this one's more about her being in the Hollywood version, or the reason why she is so her love of theater and why she works in Hollywood. So it's looking at why her books have been adapted so much, and why, probably why people are still interested in Jane Austen to this day because of how they are. So I've heard so many things about this from several of the co-hosts and other people from Jane Austen July. So it's a book that I wanted to pick up, and I just decided to get it again. I just bought it one day on eBay because I wanted it. Anyway, so the last 4 books, I don't think I should count these on my spreadsheet. You guys can let me know what you think. These are books all that I have technically read, except not these editions. And these editions have a lot of extra stuff in them, but it's not ones I'm going to read all the way through or all right now, or right anytime soon. So you have to let me know. But I bought the last 4 of the annotated Jane Austens. I bought Pride and Prejudice and Persuasion last year. And now I've bought Northanger Abbey, Mansfield Park, Sense and Sensibility, and Emma. So these are all books that are one side. Oh gosh, darn it. I'm going to cough again. Sorry. I'm going to make it. This is the end. They have on the text of the novel on the left side of the page, and on the right side is notes and details about things that are talked about in here that have something to do with that time period with Jane Austen, or something related in some fashion. And they're really interesting books. As I said, I haven't read any of them yet. I still have the Pride and Prejudice and Persuasion one to go through. I was hoping to do one of them this year. We will see. I'm not sure I'm going to get to one of them this year, but I did finish my collection. I was just going to buy this one online, and then I checked my local pals, and they had all of them from that collection. I mean, I already had the 2 that I'd already bought. I mean, I got those discounted on Amazon at some point, but these ones I got all used, but they're all in good condition. I mean, there's only a few little scuffs at the bottom. The books are all really, so I saved over, I think I figured I saved over $30 by buying them used. I probably should have used store credit because I had a lot of store credit at Pals, but I didn't want to spend that money because my dad and I haven't done our Pals trip yet. So that was probably bad on my part, but I really like these. As I said, now I have the whole collection. So I think I'm going to move, change out my bookshelves. I have 1 shelf of Jane Austen out in my living room. I think I'm going to change it to 2, where one of them is just all my copies of her novels, because I have several different copies. I have my originals that I read in college, or bought, I read high school and college, and those I kept. And then I have some editions I got from Barnes & Noble that are my new set of the novels. And now I have these ones. So this might be a whole shelf unto itself. We'll see how it goes. And then I might put, you know, nonfiction with that of stuff I have of hers. And then maybe the next one will be all my retellings. I don't know. We're going to see. I'm going to change things around. But I'm really glad I found these. I'm glad I looked them up because, again, I was just going to buy one more. So I had at least the first 3 of my, of the novels. But again, they were all there and they were all in great condition. And I just couldn't leave them there. So anyway, let me know if I get to have to count those or not. I don't know. I feel like those are like textbooks or something. They don't have to go to my book budget. I don't know, because again, I did spend money. I did not use my credit because I just couldn't do it. I just was like, I can't. I need to keep that for when I go with my dad. Anyway, so those are all the books that I bought. Is there any of these you think I should get to sooner rather than later? Are there any of them that you've read that you really enjoyed or think that I will? Let me know. Did you buy a lot in June? I bought, again, way more than I planned. I think being sick, I just kind of activated my buy. Even though I'd already bought quite a few earlier in the month. And then I just kind of continued. And again, these Jane Austens, I still don't think we should be able to count those because I've read all those books, like the main part of it. Maybe not the annotated part, but you know what I mean. So let me know what you think about that. And I will talk to you guys later. And I'm sorry about all the coughing. I'm glad I just want to get this done and get a video for out later. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.